What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 19 of the Metro Drive, and today we're going to talk about emotions. And it's just a simple success tip. It's one that I live by like every day, and it's one that I definitely credit to my strength, being credited to Jiu-Jitsu. And pretty much, guys, you have to control your emotions or they will control you. I mean, we can. I heard one point, I was listening to this, forget who it was, but he was saying we experience like hundreds of emotions a day. You know, like they're funneled into like six or, certain categories, but you feel them several times, they just come out of nowhere. And so you get these emotions and you have to be conscious of those. You can't let those control you. I'll talk with my wife Amanda, and she could tell something's off, and I'm like, I was like, man, I'm feeling quite, kind of upset, and I'm not really sure why. So you have to analyze where they're coming from, what they're doing, things like that. By far, one of the most powerful emotions, and probably two most powerful, are anger and fear. And you definitely shouldn't make decisions because of fear. In fact, general rule, if I'm afraid of something, I find a way to go do that. So, I've used the example before when I was in the ocean. I'm terrified of dark water, so, I started to swim towards the deep water. Terrified of deep water, so I started to swim out as far as I could before I lost sight of my wife. If I was scared of skydiving, I'm going to go skydiving, right? And so on and so forth. But the biggest emotion to a success tip is anger. The first, we tell our kids, and I feel like more adults need to hear this too, the first person to get angry loses. Period, point blank. No one wins a fight angry. To say, if I get people, because we interact with a lot of people through different circles of our life, and if somebody gets angry with me, or they lose their temper, or they get, they want to get nasty with me, I get this smirk, right? I get this smirk, and I'm like, man, cool, I'm winning. Because now they're not thinking clearly, and I am thinking clearly. So me versus someone who's not thinking clearly, I'm gonna win that. I'm gonna get a more favorable outcome, and it's it almost compounds, right? Because when somebody is livid, angry, furious, and you're just sitting there, I've even had a guy tell me, and you're just sitting there like, look, I get your point, I hear what you're saying, and you just react. It makes them see, it just manifests and magnifies how emotional they are. You're like, how emotional they're being. You need to be cognitive of your emotions. Be aware of those and then control them. Step number, one step I use is see where they're coming from. Is there anything to that emotion? If I'm angry, do I have reason to be angry? Sometimes the answer is yes. I mean, if I see a man lay his hands on a woman, I'm going to get furious, and I'm going to go over there to stop it. Conversely, if I just get angry, over something that doesn't need to be angry about, dismiss it immediately, right away, right then. In fact, my wife Amanda, she's like, we're married, so we've gotten into a fight or two over the past decade. We'll be married 10 years August 1st, so yay to me. Got married when I was 19. But we've had our fights, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry, it was my fault, my bad, I'm done. And she's like, hey, I want to move on, because I'm like, I apologize, it was my fault, it won't happen again. And she wants to dwell on it. She wants to dwell on this, and I was like, babe, what's the matter? She's like, you can't just move on so quickly. I was like, matter of fact, I can. It's almost like, because people get angry, they almost need a couple hours to get over being angry, and that's just it's not really healthy, and that can really negatively affect you. So anger is a big one. Fear, why are you afraid? I mean, take something to its worst case scenario. If I'm afraid of something, is there anything to substantiate it? Is there anything to support that? Guy points, he attacks me with a weapon, there's reason to be afraid. If I'm just afraid of a plane coming in and hitting my car right now, but there's no evidence to support that, I need to dismiss that, right? And these emotions, the other emotions, things like joy, those are really good. Those are positive emotions, but negative emotions, you really got to control those. So specifically anger and fear, and we could go into these a lot, but I've just had a lot to talk with Members that as we're doing matches, position training, I get to talk about these emotions. And Jiu-Jitsu does a very good job of helping you control those, because in every given match, you'll feel those. Like someone passes your guard, gets on top, they're driving the shoulder, you're like, you want to be, you're simultaneously fearful, you're angry, you're upset, you're afraid, like all of that. And then if you sweep that and get on top, those emotions immediately change. And you're like, yeah, and so like, it's like you feel every human emotion in a single match. And so you learn to control those because they're not so foreign to you. You experience them so drastically and so frequently that, experiencing all of the human emotions in one 5-minute match, and then you go into a business meeting or a staff meeting or a promotion or a job interview, and you're just experiencing one. It's like, it's like juggling 6 things versus juggling 1. So that's it, guys. The one takeaway, I'm going to try to start doing these. A single takeaway: the first person to get angry loses. I am Coach Dave with Metro Jiu-Jitsu. I hope you guys have a great day, and as always, I will see you on the mats.